What's up, everybody? My name is Josh LaFleur from Star Piano. Today, I'm going to be telling you about tetrachords and how you can use them to up your improvisation abilities. So, first of all, what is a tetrachord? Tetrachords are the first four notes within a scale. Okay, and today we're talking about major scales. So, if you have the C major scale, your first tetrachord would be C, D, E, and F, because that's the first four notes of the C major scale. The second tetrachord within that scale would be G, A, B, and then you're back to C. Okay. Now, tetrachords, every scale has two tetrachords. So, because every scale has that 7 notes, right? That 8 notes. If you want to count the bottom C and you want to count the top C, it has 8 notes when you play the full thing from the very top and to the bottom. So, again, like C major, you have C through F, and then you have that G through C. And what tetrachords do, besides really help your music theory and besides practicing your technique when you're playing the piano, is they help you be able to improvise. How do they do that? Because when you're improvising, when you're first starting to learn, there's so much out there that you can do. There's so much that you can play around with and kind of mess with to figure out. Tetrachords and scales really, as a bigger picture, help you narrow down what you should be playing, what you should be focusing on, and they give you a lot more focus, and they cut off a lot of the other options, so you're not overwhelmed. It's not as confusing. You know what to do. You can at least start with improvising. In tetrachords, it's going to sound good because you're in the scales and you're playing the scale. So if you're in C major and you're playing all the white notes, whatever you play is going to sound good because you're in the scale. It's all going to be diatonic, and it's all going to make sense for the key. You're not going to be trying some crazy chord or some crazy interval that doesn't make sense within the scale itself. Okay, so I actually wrote down 6 different steps that you can use tetrachords with to help you improvise. First thing you want to do is you just want to play the tetrachord ascending all the way up, obviously ascending, and you want to also play descending. So just play the tetrachord in order. You can do long values, say like half notes for each note. Go all the way up, go all the way down. Do that for one hand, do that one thing at a time. The second piece to this is once you play the individual notes of the tetrachord, then you can play the chords themselves. So you can play the chords of the major scale, so C chord, D chord, E, F, G, A, B, C, all the way up. You can also just play the tetrachords themselves. So you can hold down the first 4 notes, C through F, and then you can hold down G through C. The reason we're doing this is because we want to get the sound of the tetrachords, the sound of the scale within your ear, because we want to make sure that you have something in your ear that you can kind of play with so that you know what sound you're looking for when you're improvising. Okay, so that's the reason why we're doing all of this. We want to start off slow, so we go in order. Then we can go ahead and play ascending and descending tetrachords out of order. So again, just break this down, split it up, split down the first 4 chords of the scale, and then do the same thing with the second 4 notes of the scale. So when you're playing ascending and then descending out of order, just start with C through F. Play C through F, play it randomly. Go up, go to C, go to F, then go back down to D, then A, whatever, okay? So just do it randomly, play C through F, kind of play around with it, see what you think. Then you'll do that again with the second tetrachord, so G through C. You'll play it ascending and descending. You'll play it out of order, again, just to get that sound within your ears so you can figure out what you want to do. After that, we're going to introduce a little bit of rhythm to the tetrachords. So we're going to put in eighth notes, quarter notes, dotted quarter notes, whole notes, half notes. You're going to play with the rhythm. It's not all going to be one consecutive whole note all the way up and all the way down. You're going to introduce rhythm, again, to both tetrachords within the scale. After that, we're also going to introduce rest in it. Okay, so now it's going to be kind of like a real improvisation because you're improvising your ascending, you're improvising your descending. Now we have rhythm, now we have rests. Okay, so you're not just playing continuously, but it's actually going to sound like a song because you're taking breaks. You have that rhythm change as well. You're playing different notes. So at this point, this is step 4. You're improvising at this point. This is improvising. You're just doing it with tetrachords. You're not allowing yourself to use all 88 keys on the piano. You're limiting yourself to 4 keys or 8 keys with the second tetrachord, and you're just improvising with that. And this is a great place to start. After that, you're going to introduce the articulations as well. So maybe you accent a certain note. Again, maybe you add the dotted quarter note in there. Maybe you do a slur and then you do staccato. All that's the articulation, right? So you can play around with that. Final step is going to be the expression. So you're going to play around with the dynamics. So you're getting louder as you go up and then softer as you go down the tetrachord. Are you kind of mixing it up? Are you having some kind of emotion that you're trying to convey when you're improvising? That's step number 6, okay? And all of these 6 steps are really, it's so simple, and that's why it's so good, because it's starting off so simple. You're just playing the tetrachord itself. You're playing 4 notes in a row, okay, ascending and descending, and then you're working all the way up to, okay, now you're playing with the expression, you're playing with the articulations, and it's great. Another thing you can do as well, I would just start off with doing this with 1 hand each. Okay, so 1 hand each. Once that is pretty good, and you feel good with that, once you get to that step 6 with 1 hand, you're introducing expression. You can do the same thing with the left hand, or you can have the left hand just start playing chords. So you can just play triads with the left hand, just with the tetrachord. So you can play C major, D minor, E minor, F major. Just limit yourself to that in the left hand, all triads, all root position. In the right hand, you can keep doing the improvisation. And now you're improvising in the right hand, you're improvising in the left hand. You have chords in the left hand, so you have the harmony. You also have the melodic piece in the right hand because you're improvising with that. And this is, you're fully improvising at this point. There's nothing that you're missing. So hope that helps. Again, those are the 6 steps. Those are what tetrachords are. It helps you limit everything and just keep you focused. And let me know how that goes for you. Let me know if there's any other questions I can answer. Hope that helps. My name is Josh LaFleur from Late Start Piano.